I don't think it's fair what the superintendent is recommending.
Two special schools created to offer a unique education may be dissolved, absorbed back into DPS, but some are saying that is a power grab.
Concerned and disappointed, a group of state lawmakers want answers why a student picked up by his arms and legs was hauled out of the Capitol yesterday.
Home opener today, and the Rockies bag a win. A record-setting win. We're with the fans as they celebrate. A fast start to the season. We'll have all the highlights as well. There are 3 DPS schools closing at the end of the year. Those communities fought the closures. They ultimately lost. Well, now the superintendent of Denver Public Schools is suggesting taking a unique and innovative program away from 2 schools in the district.
Last month, DPS Superintendent Alex Marrero recommended revoking the Innovation Zone status of Kepner, Beacon, and Grant Beacon middle schools. He cited insufficient academic progress at Kepner and concerns with organizational health.
Now, that school's leader and some parents say the recommendation is unfair, threatening that unique model. Here's 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon.
Kepner Beacon Middle School isn't like all the other traditional schools.
They wanted something different for their children through our enrichment programs, our personalized learning, our focus on character development.
Executive Director Alex Magana oversees both Kepner Beacon and Grant Beacon middle schools. The 2 schools are part of an innovation zone, which gives schools more autonomy to better meet the needs of their students.
I don't think it's fair what the superintendent is recommending.
But last month, the DPS superintendent recommended to revoke the Beacon Innovation Zone due to insufficient academic progress at Kepner and concerns with organizational health.
It impacts our autonomy and our flexibilities through the through innovation schools. So is it a power move? It definitely looks that way.
Y lo que me gustaría decirle a la mesa directiva de DPS que no nos quiten la zona Beacon.
Lorena Limon has a 7th grader at Kepner. Her older kids went to Grant, where the Beacon Innovation Zone started. And when she found out the same model was coming to Westwood 6 years ago, she knew she wanted to enroll her son.
Más que nada, cómo trabajan los maestros con los estudiantes.
She says she likes the one-on-one attention her son gets from teachers, as well as the positive and welcoming culture of the school.
Nosotros somos las personas que estamos, ellos están para trabajar para nosotros. No, ellos no son independientes.
Limon says the DPS board needs to listen to the parents and students who don't want their unique school programming to go away.
It's unfortunate that we're having to push back and fight this fight when there's so many other priorities.
Magana says in September they were told by DPS that test scores would not be a factor in deciding school closures or programs, and that the pandemic was a challenging time for students and educators. He said they provided additional information to clarify their concerns about the organizational health of the zone. The DPS Board of Education will be voting on whether to get rid of the zone on Monday.
Yeah, if DPS taxpayers don't pay for this designation, I'm curious to why all the things that DPS can be worried about right now, this is on their list at all.
They're like a semi-autonomous part of DPS, so they do have their own fundraisers to do their own programming and things like that, but a lot of what the parents are saying right now is that we want to keep this unique programming that we have that is enabled by this innovation zone, and they think they should be able to keep it.
Yeah, that they work hard for. All right, Courtney, thank you.
New numbers just posted this afternoon have set the runoff for Denver mayor. It'll be Mike Johnston and Kelly Brough in the runoff to become the Mile High City's next mayor. After this final major update, Johnston still has 24% of the vote, Brough with 20%, and Lisa Calderon remains in third, just over 3,200 votes out of second place. Election officials say there are only about 2,500 votes remaining to be cured and possibly counted, meaning there are not enough to change the top 2. So Johnston and Brough will now battle in the runoff, which will wrap up 2 months from today on June 6th.
Authorities say a driver escaped serious injury after crashing into a Denver church late this afternoon. You can see this SUV totally lodged into the front of that church on Dahlia Street, just a couple of blocks north of Hampden Avenue. Denver police say the driver was taken to the hospital just as a precaution. Injuries aren't believed to be serious. Police don't know how this happened just yet.
Colorado Democratic House leaders want an investigation into the removal of a high school student from the House gallery yesterday at the state capitol. The Colorado State Patrol released body camera video of the incident. They said the teens were among other students protesting gun violence in schools. But when sitting in the gallery, one girl, they said, was speaking too loudly. A Capitol official was heard asking 2 boys to step out of the way to remove the girl, but they didn't. So troopers are seen grabbing a teen by the arms and legs, carrying him out. No one was harmed. The students were not arrested, but were released outside of the Capitol. Democratic House leaders didn't agree with how it went down. They want a review of the responsibilities, the protocols, and the training for their sergeants at arms who maintain security in the Capitol.
In Lakewood, 2 men are dead tonight, and another is in the hospital after a shooting on West 14th Street near Sheridan. So far, we know one died at the scene, another at the hospital. As of 4:40 this afternoon, police say the third man taken to the hospital with injuries is expected to survive. Police say they found multiple guns on that scene and know that the 3 people they found when they got there knew each other in some capacity. Police say they don't think this was a random shooting at all, but it's still not exactly clear what happened just yet.
At this point, we don't believe that the community is in any sort of danger. Again, if anybody saw something, if anybody heard something, we would ask them to call the Lakewood Police Department.
And this is new. Detectives now believe there is a 4th person involved in this shooting who left before the police could get there. They may have also been shot. So if you have any information about what happened here, you're asked to call Lakewood Police Department's non-emergency line, 303-980-7300. Aurora police say the second suspect accused of killing the man encased in concrete below a home believed the victim was a police informant. The arrest affidavit shows the suspect, Haskell Crawford here, had stolen catalytic converters with the victim before becoming suspicious and ultimately killing him. The report indicates the victim's mother called police after getting a direct message on Facebook saying her son was buried in the first suspect's crawl space after Crawford murdered him. The first suspect is Casey Bach, Crawford's ex-girlfriend. Crawford is already in the Jefferson County Jail for another crime, but now he has to face a warrant for this murder.
An update now on the wildfires still burning in Park and Teller counties with some positive weather news about the fight. Several inches of snow fell in that area last night, certainly helping to lower the complexity and any growth of the fire, the one that sparked a week ago today. They say they now have 60% containment. Fire officials also say the wildfire hasn't grown in 2 days. While it has burned just over 1,500 acres, there have been no injuries. It has yet to damage any homes or buildings. Earlier this week, the sheriff's office said it was human-caused, starting in a homeowner's backyard.
Coors Field and Blake Street have been packed with Rockies fans most of the day, celebrating the team's home opener and win.
Yeah, the timing was great. Great weather for it. This is a live look from our camera above Coors Field. The bleachers emptying out, people heading home after seeing a 1-0 Rockies win.
Sports director Rod Mackey will recap the game for us in just a moment. But first, Katie Eastman has spent most of her day hanging out with the fans.
We met all kinds of fans today, just excited for baseball season to start. They are diehard Rockies fans, no matter the stats or the scores. But of course, there is always hope for a better season. Some are very optimistic, believing this team can make it to the World Series. Others are cautious and say, hey, it's great when they win, but we still love them when they lose. A lot of hope for what third baseman Chris Bryant will do this year. But no one's hope could compare to Deborah Fernie. She has been to every single home opener in Rockies history, and she wears the potential of the team from her head to her toes.
And each year I add something new to my outfit. I just love the Rockies so much. The culmination of all these years and just being there, when you feel that energy while you're there in the stadium, it's palpable. You know, I've seen an unassisted triple play live. And there's things that happen, they're not just humans. They're superhumans.
Deborah typically goes to about 35 games a season, but because of the rule changes, the games will be a little shorter. So she said she might have to go to even more. In Denver, Katie Eastman, 9 News.
Thank you, Katie. Want to get some of the highlights. And Rod, there were plenty of them today. Great win to start the season.
Yeah, this was fantastic, Tom. A very un-Coors-like game with the game ending in 2 hours and 18 minutes with all kinds of Colorado connections. The winning pitcher, Thomas Jefferson High School star Kyle Freeland, and the guy that came in to close it out, former Faith Christian Colorado star Pierce Johnson. The pitchers got help from the defense, got help from Jerickson Profar. Colorado's new left fielder, adjusting just fine to Coors Field, made the spectacular snag in at the wall in the first inning, and then in the second he did it again, this time the diving snag. Profar absolutely loving playing at Coors Field. Not a lot of offense in this one. In fact, there was only 1 run in the game. Chris Bryant providing it, RBI single. He has a 7-game hitting streak. The Rockies win the home opener. The final score 1-0.
Profar went back, made a nice play, and then the diving catch off of the bat of Garcia, and then the other play in left center. So he had a good day defensively. He really did. That was good to see. We need that, right? We need, like all teams, you got to make plays.
48,000 fans came out to see this one, and most left home happy. Not a lot of Washington National fans like here. This wasn't like a Dodgers or Yankees or Cubs game. All Rockies fans and all very happy. Tom, we'll send it back to you.
Seeing a rarity, a 1-0 game. Rod, we'll see it coming up a little bit later with more in sports. A 94-year-old woman just became a new American citizen. Her naturalization has been years in the making. She's going to tell us how much this day means to her.